Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga is headed our way, and James McLoughlin is the game director, and what a task you have, right? Not only are you having to keep Star Wars fans happy, but there are millions of Lego Star Wars fans that you need to make happy. Do you feel the pressure of this, or does it feel like it's the right team at the right time with the right game?
Oh, I mean, the fans that we have, we have to keep ourselves happy. They're the same fans that you just mentioned, working in the studio. Everyone's got something to say, everyone's in it. And I think, we don't think about the pressure because if we stay true to what we want to do, it will work. It's a great license to be in.
Huh? Whoa. I saw the demo, and holy crap, it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing, and the reach for this game is so apparent. Yes. Tell us some of the things that you guys are trying to do that you've never done before in a Lego game.
Well, essentially, what we wanted to really build is an encyclopedic Star Wars game.
Yeah.
We want the player to go everywhere. We want the player to be able to go to planets that no one has ever covered before. We want the players, all in the films, of course, but we really had a chance to look at what we've done in the past and redo it all from scratch. So this is no HD remix, like a lot of people are doing these days. We're not just saying, oh, it's that game with nicer graphics. We're basically saying, we're redoing The Phantom Menace. We're redoing everything from scratch. We're going to places that we didn't do originally because the technology's changed, and our mentality and how we put games together have changed, and we had the chance to really use everything we've learned in the past 15 years and redo one of our most loved games.
And Lego Star Wars was really what kicked it all off for TT Games in a way, right? I remember seeing that at Comic-Con in 2004, 2005, and my head blew off. I'm like, oh my God, this looks so fun. Yeah. But I think so much of the world discovered your games through Lego Star Wars, so I guess the biggest challenge you have is to, push that misconception that this is more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, what we mainly did was we knew that if we just told the same story the same way, there's no way we could put all the mechanics in the world in it, but it makes no difference, right? Yeah. So what we want to do is you experience this game in a free way. You can travel, you can do quests midway through it. We have story points that exist in the hub that were previously whole levels. The idea of basically being able to do half of a quest, like you're helping out Amidala, but then next minute you're helping a gonk droid because it's just over there, and why not? And that was definitely a different way of experiencing the story that everyone knows. We can't retell a classic, but one of the things we can do is reimagine it and how people play with it, and that's what we did.
Okay, so the linear focus is less of a concern for you guys this time.
Yeah. We want freedom. Freedom's our big thing.
Right.
That's the thing. We could have put 900 mechanics in, but if it all plays the same, it's the same. We want the players to be able to find different ways around levels. We have situations where our set pieces, there's not just one way of completing them. Yes, you could kill a boss doing this, but you could also lift some force boxes and throw it at them, or you could move the boss and drop them down a hole, or you could pull a trapdoor, or these are the kind of things that we want the players to experience it. So we brought in challenge points inside levels. So it's kind of like mid-level achievements kind of thing.
Right.
And that's just to let the player play with the environment more.
Now, what about those folks that do just want to follow the story and play the story? Can you do that too?
That's 100% doable. I mean, as I say, we have story points within the hubs, but of course we have, with the way we've created the game, we've split the game into 5 story points per movie.
Right.
And they exist. You can go trigger them. So in the demo there, you'll have seen the kind of like the polygon kind of thing. That is a story point. When you trigger that, you would have played the Jabba's barge level. Those points exist. You could land there, you can do exactly what you need to do and get off, or you can mooch around and find what's around the corner.
We've had tastes of Lego Dogfights with some of the ships in the previous games, and they've been really fun, but you're talking about an open galaxy and lots of places to explore. Are the dogfights just blow your mind in this new game?
Yeah, so we're talking about flying through space and then Super Star Destroyers just like a random encounter just appearing in front of you. Yeah. And the idea of being able to, we've got this concept where the player will be able to take out TIE fighters to a certain amount, and then it'll be like, right, take down the shield, and then eventually take down the Star Destroyer. And those are the kind of things that we've never really done before in our games, and we really want the players to experience a Star Destroyer exploding.
That is amazing. Now, you talked about in the demo that the Super Star Destroyer that you built is the size of an American football field if you built it in real life. So your team actually builds everything with actual Lego bricks in virtual space to scale.
Yes, that's always been a thing. Yeah. That's like from day one. Way back when, we had a principle that every object in our game is buildable. And that was like one of our little, we don't talk about it as much anymore actually, but that's still a thing. When I ask my guys back home to create a Death Star, we agree on what that scale is, and it's massive, obviously.
Look at the size of that thing.
And we build it. It slows Maya down a lot. It slows down our 3D programs considerably. But it's because there's so many parts, and Lego have been brilliant in allowing us to reimagine some of their sets, because the scale-wise, some of them, we had to make them bigger.
Yeah.
And there was ways we had to deal with it, but they've been phenomenal, and so have Lucas.
That's amazing. So when you build, let's take a look at this Lego Star Destroyer. When you build something like that and you have a ship that you can land in and then you have a whole interior, you can run around it and all that stuff, how long does it take to build just that asset?
Oh, I should know this because the guys spend a long time on it. But we're talking months, basically, to build both the exterior and the interior, and we have many of these. We're not going to tell you what they all are because that'll ruin the surprise, but all the famous ones we got.
Did you guys have to train yourselves to let go of your connections to the way that you've done a lot of the Lego games in the past?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, from a design perspective, designers always want to change things.
Yes.
You know what we're like.
Yeah.
We always want to move things on and do things differently.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
And I think it was the right time because we've got new technology, things have been opened, doors have been opened that cannot be closed.
Right.
And we didn't want to go back. We want to move forwards. And things we've done over the games, various different licenses, we've learned from them. And we're thinking, we'll bring that into this. This is a perfect fit for this. That's a perfect fit for that. And we moved it around and remixed it. And I think we've got something really special.
Lego The Last Jedi was noticeably absent on the release calendar. I love the Lego Force Awakens game you guys did. That says to me that you've been working on this concept for a long time.
Yeah, we've been in the lab for a long time. There was a number of ideas that we had. We wanted to make a new Lego game. We wanted to do something really cool, a big statement piece.
Does this change Lego forever? The way that you make Lego games?
We hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so. I mean, we've changed things in this that change the formula that everyone says we follow, because we never felt we did. We felt that, there was things that were familiar, but we always changed a lot.
Yeah.
But this time we've gone the extra mile to change the lot. The camera makes a massive difference to how things play.
Sure.
It makes a massive difference to how things are designed.
Sure.
So that change alone, a massive change for the games.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
How enjoyable to play is Rise of Skywalker? They give you lots of toys to enjoy in this the new story?
Well, we know what you know. The new story, we know what you know, right? So we've obviously, in our dioramas that you saw, we're doing the moment from the trailer where she kind of jumps in midair and that's cool. And at the moment, we're getting held back because we're like, and it's fair play, because I don't want it ruined for me either.
Yeah, for sure. That must be one of the things that sucks about your
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. It's like, here's the script, and you're like, oh no. But obviously, this one's very, very, very secret. It's very close to everyone's hearts.
Yeah.
And we'll see it when we're ready.
We're not getting it this year. We got to wait a little longer.
Yeah, sorry.
Does that speak to the size of this thing? Because you guys are pretty consistent. Like, you can set your watch to a new Lego game.
Yeah, and we really, that's not really intentional. It's just kind of, that's how it works. With this one, the scope's insane. That's why. We were like, why just crank it out? Why finish it too early? We want to really spend time on it.
Well, and the other thing too is you can have the movie hit and register, and then we can have the resonance of the whole 9 episodes kind of complete themselves, and then we can go into your game.
It's the perfect way to celebrate it, I think, and that's what it's a kind of. We thought of that as well. Like it's a celebration for Star Wars fans. Like it's kind of, we've all been on this journey together. Let's reimagine it. Let's do it all again from the start. Like when you finish a box set, you go right back to the start and watch it again to see all the things you know. Oh, that's that bit there, and that's kind of what we did.
That's amazing. I can't wait, my friend.